Hello everyone. With our revision of NCERT 11th standard, today I am devoting this video to understand and study soil. Indian soil is our focus. While learning Indian soil, there are certain fundamentals of soil geography that we can also take into account, which includes what is meant by soil, what are its genetic horizons, and what are the important soil forming processes. We also call them soil forming regime. And added to it, there are certain bases on which we classify soil, like based on texture, based on color, where we get an excellent description from NCERT. So, physical geography, that is India physical setting, soil of India is what we are willing to learn now. Chapter number 6 of NCERT 11th standard, India physical environment, we are picking up the study of soil now. So, soil of India. Our chapter actually starts from the definition of soil, and we want to take that with support of both NCERT content and diagram. Soil is a mixture of rock debris and organic material which develops on the earth's surface. So, I have got two constituents for soil, rock debris and organic material, and the major factors affecting the formation of soil are relief, parent material, climate, vegetation and other life forms and time. Before we take any further reference of it, what are the factors that are being highlighted here as the factors affecting formation of soil? So, the factors affecting formation of soil includes relief features, includes parent rock, I am only writing rock structure, it also includes climate, it includes vegetation, and it also includes other factors, specifically time, because time is the factor with which we correlate development process of soil. It is a long time taking process. Let us try to understand this mixture of rock debris, broken rock material is called debris, I have talked about it earlier, and organic matter. So, definition of soil from NCERT reads, it is the mixture of rock debris and organic matter, and its development process is regulated by relief, rock structure, climate, vegetation and time. The soil forming process incorporate relief, our NCERT also referred it. It includes parent material, which we emphasized as rock structure. You know, it basically comes up from what we have learned as rock. Supposedly my rock is iron rich. So, breaking of iron rich rock will make my soil rich in iron. So, that is how the parent rock. Its climate, because climate is a regulator of soil forming regimes. We also call it soil forming processes. I will make you understand it in a while. Organisms, because it is decomposed organic matter. That is called humus, and any soil that is rich in humus is considered to be fertile soil. And we also have, so I am numbering them, number 2 factor is parent material, 3 is climate, 4 is organism and 5 is time. What are the important soil forming processes, or what are the factors that facilitates development of soil? So, development of soil is regulated by relief, parent material, climate, organism and time. Taking you back to NCERT. Reading it again, soil is mixture of rock, debris and organic material, statement 1, and the major factors affecting the formation of soil is relief, parent material, climate, vegetation and time. I hope it is clear. The statement number 2 from NCERT, components of soil are mineral particles, humus, water and air. The actual amount of each of these depends upon the type of soil. Some soil, statement number 3, some soil are deficient in one or more of these while other are having the varied combination. That is the reason we have got different types of soil. Why we have different types of soil? We have different types of soil because of different factors that are affecting them, and we have different types of soil because we have got different combination of what? Minerals, water, humus and also air. So, soil is classified on the basis of these variable factors and their combination. I hope we have understood two things right now. Number one, what we have learned? We have learned what is soil. Number two, we have learned what are the factors that affects the development of soil. Reading it from here, soil consists of 3 layers, and now we are zooming it here. Now, soil consists of 3 layers that are called horizons. Horizons are layers of soil. Horizon A is the topmost zone where organic matter have got incorporated. Horizon B is the transitional zone between horizon A and C and contain matter derived from below as well as from the above. It has some organic matter in it, although the mineral matter is noticeably weathered. Horizon C is composed of loose parent material. This layer is the first stage in the soil formation process. This arrangement of layers is known as soil profile. And underneath these 3 horizons is the rock, which is also known as parent rock or the bedrock. So, if you try to take it like this paragraph is actually asking us to understand that ideally soil will incorporate few defined genetic horizons. This will be parent rock, over which will be genetic horizon, that is weathered rock, over which will be the genetic horizon that is called subsoil, and over it is topsoil. And if I have to take these layers from the perspective of horizons alphabetically, this is genetic horizon A, this is B, this is C, and this is parent rock or bedrock. Layers of soil is profile of soil. Let us see this diagram. This will be bedrock, parent rock, and we can technically call it R horizon. D horizon also it is called, you can call it R horizon. What is this horizon? This horizon developed over parent rock is horizon C, the weathered rock. So, fundamentally we take the distinction between parent rock or bedrock and C horizon is that parent rock is unweathered layer and this is weathered rock strata, genetic horizon C, and over it you have got the genetic horizon that is called B, subsoil. Subsoil can have some humus, but it is largely what? It is largely mineral rich horizon. It's a dominantly mineral rich horizon, and over it you have got this horizon which is called genetic horizon A, topsoil, and topsoil can have O horizon, and this is what is not mentioned in our NCERT, which is humus and organic. Actually, excess of humus or excess of organic matter do render soil infertile, in sense that if it is genetic horizon A, then my soil will be considered to be fully developed. Development of genetic horizon O, both the cases, excessive humus and excessive organic matter can render it infertile, and we will be learning it with the effectivity of the soil forming processes. So, genetic horizons, how many? Ideally for a soil profile in due course of time tends to develop genetic horizon R, we can also call it D, genetic horizon C, genetic horizon B and genetic horizon A, with an option of genetic horizon O, which relates essentially to excess of humus or excess of organic matter. Classification of soil, we are talking about Indian soil. So, India has varied relief features, landform, climatic realm and vegetation type. We learned vegetation also in the last video, which results into the development of various types of soil. Because if the factors that determines development of soil are these and we are varied with our relief and our structure, so automatically we will have different types of soil. Then comes in Urvara and Usara. Urvar stands for fertile and Usar stands for infertile. So, to begin with, how many categories we divided our soil type into? We divided our soil type into two categories, Urvar and Usar. Urvar is fertile and Usar is infertile, but that goes very historical, and thus we have got the categories of soil classified beyond, and which are these. So, first way of classifying Indian soil is into two categories, fertile or sterile. Then the second category that we take is the basis of its characteristics. So, based on, reading it from here, based on the texture, main soil types are identified as sandy, clayey, silty and loam. And if I read statement number 3, on the basis of color, they can be red, yellow, black. Mind it, when I am red, I am iron rich. So, I will be largely deriving my characteristics from rock, parent rock, which is facilitating my development. Similarly, if it is black, recall that black comes up from basalt, denser rock. So, it is also related to rock. But if I talk about yellow, it is largely based on vegetation. Like I divide red yellow soil from red brown soil, largely on the basis of which type of vegetation is standing there. So, we can classify our soil, repeating it here, we classify our soil traditionally as fertile and infertile. We also classify the soil on the basis of their texture, I am taking you to the details, and also on the basis of their color. On the basis of texture, we take the soil texture based triangle to understand it. Let us go to the diagram to interpret it. This soil triangle has got percent of sand increasing horizontally on our left. Percent of silt is being shown here and clay is being shown here. So, if I have got cent percent availability of each one of it. So, if I am at the top of the triangle, it is clayey soil. If I am at the bottom of the triangle on the right hand side, it is silty soil. You can see silt is written here. This is all clay and this is sand. But there is possibility of the mixture. So, understand, when I am arranging them in terms of their texture, I will say sandy is coarser texture than silt and is coarser texture than clay. That is the reason clayey soil is largely related to delta and sand silt is mostly related to floodplain. And where do I use the term loam? Loam is basically the mixture of each one of them. So, can you see, as I am travelling from sandy, I am travelling from sandy towards silty texture. So, silt paves way to silt loam, sandy paves way to sandy loam, and then comes in loam soil in between. Loam moving towards apex of the triangle gives me clayey loam, and sandy clay loam, silty clay loam. I hope you are understanding this. So, it is the combination basically. So, how many texture based categories of soil can be distinguished? The texture based categories of soil can include, so writing the categories one by one: sandy, sandy loam, silt loam, silt, and then we can easily take clayey loam, clay. Now, after this, our NCERT takes us further to, since independence, scientific surveys of soil have been conducted by various agencies, and the prominent most player has been ICAR. We largely follow that classification propounded by it, and ICAR has taken USDA, United States Department of Agricultural Soil categories in Indian context, and we have got these categories here. If I try to learn these soil types as the name, so it becomes slightly difficult. So, we want to make sense with the types of soil one by one. Now, what exactly the logic of classification here is? United States Department of Agriculture attempted the classification of soil. It is called Comprehensive Soil Classification Scheme. And this scheme originally was propounded in 1960 and have been recently amended, and this recent amendment, which is going back to 2017, have given us 12 order soil. And when you try to make sense with these order soil, when we try to take this comprehensive soil classification scheme, there are certain important names that we should be aware of, and that is what is being mentioned in NCERT. Classification that is followed on by ICAR is largely incorporating different bases than that of United States Department of Agriculture. So, they cannot be absolute synonym expressions, but the names that are applicable in the country and is correlated very clearly with Indian soil types. So, I have got Antisol, Inseptisol as the major ones. We also includes Alfizol, Vertizol, Aridizol, Altizol and Molizol as important soil types in the country, mentioned in our NCERT also. Now, how to do justice with these names? How to do justice with these names? How do I identify them to be relevant to the soil type? I will come back to this table after making you understand how many types of soil we have in our country and in relation to it the soil forming processes. On the basis of genesis, color, composition and location. So, what are the bases on which we are classifying our soil type? 4 bases: genesis, color, composition. We are identifying 8 different types of soil, and it is the most followed ICAR's classification. And we want to learn each soil type one by one, and while learning it, we will try to rope in the names of United States Agricultural Department also. So, the first and the foremost soil type of our country is alluvial soil. Genesis of alluvial soil is River deposits. Alluvial soil are widespread in northern plains and river valleys of the country. About 40% of the total area of the country is alluvial soil. They are depositional soil transported and deposited by rivers and streams. I have already told you this. Through a narrow corridor in Rajasthan, they extend onto plains of Gujarat. In peninsular region, they are found in delta of east coast and river valleys. Let us see this NCERT map. Alluvial soil is identified in narrow belt extending from Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, eastern Rajasthan to Gujarat. And then it is entire northern plains of India, Gangetic plain, Hooghly plains, Brahmaputra plains. I can easily notice it in the east coast plain of the country, deltaic lowlands. All these are which type of soil? They all are alluvial soil. So, alluvial soil belt will be defined in the deltaic plains of east coast, Gujarat, narrow belt extending, this is Chambal Valley extending to Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal and Assam. The alluvial soil varies in nature from sandy loam to clay. Sandy loam to clay. That means I am including all the texture. And how exactly do we demarcate them? We demarcate them on the basis of, if I am floodplain soil versus I am deltaic soil, I think it comes clear. Which type of texture I will be having? Sandy. And here which type of texture will be there? Clay. So, in the east coast plain will be largely having clay textured soil. So, that is what is the statement. They are generally rich in potash but poor in phosphorus. In the upper and middle Ganga plain, two different types of alluvial soil are developed called Khadar and Bhangar. I have explained that earlier also, I am attempting it one more time. Please try to recall what we learned while taking the study of river, Indian river action. I am repeating the same, though I am now not drawing Shivalik. So, if I take the elevation variations to understand the two different types of soil that is being mentioned here in our NCERT with a very brief supportive diagram. This is my natural levee and this is the location of my active channel. So, my river is flowing here. This will be my block of natural levees. These are the embankments of the river. When the river will overflow, it by default will be depositing some amount of deposits here as well as here, and the amount of deposits in this elevation. Number one, it is elevated zone. I am highlighting both on both the sides. So, be cautious. What is getting deposited here is regular. We are calling it annually renewed. Khadar. Both the end. Khadar. What is Khadar? New alluvium. And what will be this? This will be Bhangar. And what is Bhangar? Old alluvium. And same here, do. Reason, number one, it is away from the active channel, see the distance. And number two, it is elevated, see the height. So, it is not normally or regularly deposited, as the deposition will be seen in floodplain, which is significantly nearer to the active channel and is low lying. So, in technical terminology, Khadar will be referred as floodplains and Bhangar will be referred as bluffs. And same here, floodplain and bluffs. But in our country, we refer them as Khadar and Bhangar. The khadar is a new alluvium and is deposited in flood annually, which enriches the soil by depositing fine silt. Bhangar represents the system of older alluvium. Khadar and Bhangar soil contains calcareous creations called kankars. So, in the reference of kankars, we have to take understanding of one more thing. I'll just take you there. These soil are more loamy and clayey in lower and middle Ganga plains and Brahmaputra valley. The sand content decreases from west to east. West to east. This is my river Ganga. Maximum of plain is here. So, if I apply what we have learned earlier, if I am applying river Ganga flow and make it Hooghly here in West Bengal, will it not be that more in Uttar Pradesh sandy, more in Bihar silty, and more in West Bengal clay? Reading, the sand content decreases from west to east. I think it goes very clear. Then NCERT reads, the color of alluvial soil varies from light grey to ash grey. Its shades depends on the depth of the deposition, the texture of the material, and the time taken to attain maturity. An alluvial soil is intensively cultivated. I want you to understand this calcareous kankar. One of the soil forming regimes is called calcification. So, if I take support of this diagram, this is my genetic horizon C. This is my genetic horizon B. And I have got A as well as O genetic horizon. Calcification, areas where precipitation is less than evaporation. What will happen? There will be the action of capillary action. There will be the effect of capillary action. Subsurface salt will start getting accumulated in genetic horizon B. The process of calcification makes soil rich in calcium, which is a principal nutrient, so can make it fertile. Remind yourself, calcium makes soil fertile, but if it is in excess, if the soil is excess in calcium, then it is called saline, alkaline, infertile soil. What is the process applied here? It is capillary action. Which area capillary action will have its prominence? Areas where precipitation is less than evaporation. We have a soil type in the country called saline soil, arid soil. I want you to take you there first. They are also known as usara, infertile soil. Saline soil contain large proportion of sodium, potassium, magnesium, and thus they are infertile. They have more salt largely because of dry climate and poor drainage. Their structure ranges from sandy to loam. They lack in nitrogen and calcium. Saline soil are more widespread in western Gujarat, delta of east coast of Sundarbans, West Bengal, in run of Kutch. Southwest monsoon brings salt particles and are deposited there as crust. Sea water intrusions in the delta promotes the occurrence of saline soil as well. So, what exactly we are taking with saline soil? We are actually categorizing it into two. If I am talking about run of Kutch, I am talking about true saline soil with the absolute presence of calcium. And if I am talking about deltaic soil, where there is intrusion of sea water and etc., then we have got the soil which is much rich in sodium, because it will have that salt content which is coming up from delta, Sundarbans. I am talking about that. It's the biggest area altogether. See the saline soil on map. I'll largely confine it where? I'll largely confine it here. Run of Kutch, Sundarbans, coastal plains like Chilka Lagoon Lake, the Pulikat Lagoon Lake, the Vembanad Lagoon Lake. So quite minor patches altogether. Otherwise, unsustainable agricultural practices do makes semi-arid climatic region experience development of saline soil. So, saline soil is increasing in its area largely because of unsustainable agricultural practices. Otherwise, speaking about it, it has got very restricted area. Black soil, soil number 2. Black soil cover most part of Deccan Plateau, which includes part of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh and some part of Tamil Nadu. We want to see map. Upper reaches of Godavari, Krishna also is written in our NCERT. We want to first see the map. Areas of black soil. Black soil, which is considered to be the second significant soil in our country, largely includes Kathiawar, Malwa Bundelkhand, Maharashtra Plateau, Karnataka's Malnad, minor patches in Telangana, and I can see them in Tamil Nadu. Yes, Chota Nagpur Plateau region. Which type of soil black soil is in accordance to NCERT? These soil are also called as Raygood soil or black cotton soil. The black soil is generally clayey, deep and impermeable. They swell and become sticky when wet, shrink when dries. So, during the dry season, these soil develops wide crack. Thus, these occur a kind of self-plowing because of this characteristics of slow absorption and loss of moisture. Black soil retains the moisture for very long time, which helps the crop, especially when the rain-fed ones, to sustain even during drier season. So, basically, which type of soil black soil is? Black soil is typical to parent rock, as I said in the beginning. And which type of parent rock we are developing it over? It's basaltic. What is the reason it is considered to be fertile type of soil? It has got significant availability of chemically, significant availability of minerals like lime, iron, magnesia, aluminium, and it also contains potash. But what is the limiting factor? Phosphorus, nitrogen and organic matter is missing. However, it has got water retention capacity. So, because of its water retention capacity, we can cultivate wide variety of rain-fed crop. However, because more than 2/3 of the black soil is devoted to the cultivation of cotton, we call Raygood soil the black soil, essentially the example of cotton soil. Worldwide it is actually, it's not just in India. Before I take a step further, if I have to rope in the table with which our NCERT gives us the content matter of United States Agricultural Department's classification, let us try to rope in the terms that goes up with these soil type. Alluvial soil essentially is Ncert, and black soil is essentially vertisol. However, it cannot be an absolute example. Reason is very clear, because we do have got forest related to it. So, we do incorporate the forest variety of soil with it. Soil number 3, as per our NCERT, red yellow soil. Red soil develops on crystalline igneous rocks in the areas of low rainfall of eastern southern part of Deccan Plateau. Let us first see the map. Red soil actually surrounds black soil from almost all its sides and is surrounded by alluvial soil. So, I am shading the red soil area. Red soil area is extensive in the igneous rock strata of plateau interiors. So, where are we? We are in Jharkhand, we are in Chhattisgarh, in neighboring Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and I am noticing that I am actually cusp between. This is Bangalore, Mysore tableland, this is Southern Hills. I am actually cusp between which type of soil. I am just overlooking the minor shades, I am just covering them up. I just want you to take a bigger shade version. What is this soil type? This soil type is alluvial soil. So, alluvial soil is shaded here. Coastal plains, alluvial soil, we have already learned it. Which type of soil is this? This soil type is called black soil, we have learned it. So, basically, where is my red yellow soil? Red yellow soil is encircling black soil and is in between black and alluvial soil. And where do I develop the red soil? Red soil is essentially developed in between the plateau interiors of crystalline Indian shield. So, wherever we have got Indian shield, will have red soil. So, Chota Nagpur plateau region, Dandakarnia region, Bangalore, Mysore plateau, Southern Hills, all goes with red yellow soil. The soil develops a reddish color due to wild diffusion of iron in crystalline and metamorphic rocks. It looks yellow when it is occur in the hydrated form. The fine grained red yellow soil are normally fertile, whereas coarse grained soil found in up dry land is poor in fertility. So, it is basically mixed variety. They are generally poor in nitrogen, phosphorus and humus. Red yellow soil, black soil are plateau soil of our country. And how to retain their location? If this is my rough extension of Indian shield, all this will be, this is my western Ghats, this is my southern hills, this is my eastern Ghats, this is Meghalayan upland, Malwa, Bundelkhand, Chota Nagpur plateau, plateau interiors. I can easily demarcate them to be which type of soil area? This is all red soil. But why it is not this uninterrupted kind on the map of the country? Because we have development of basaltic tableland in Malwa, Bundelkhand, Maharashtra plateau, Malnads of Karnataka and patchy areas in Chota Nagpur, patchy area in Tamil Nadu and etc. So, these areas which type of soil will be found? Black. Smaller ones here, bigger ones here. Malnads, Maharashtra plateau, it's Malwa, Bundelkhand, these are the bigger ones. So, red soil is with Indian shield and both red, yellow and black are which type of soil? Plateau soil. And which type of soil will be the alluvial soil that we learned as the first? Alluvial soil, the first type of soil is actually deposited soil by river. So, where will find the alluvial soil? Wherever there is riverine plains. So, it will be northern plains of India, it will be coastal plains of India. Soil number 4, laterite soil, derived from the Latin term later, which means brick. The laterite soil develops in the area of high temperature and high rainfall. These are the result of intense leaching due to the tropical rain. With rain, lime and silica are leached away and soil is rich in iron oxide and aluminium. Such type of soil is acidic soil, and being acidic they are considered to be infertile. I will just take you to the diagram, but if we try to understand it with this simple line diagram, what is laterite soil? From genetic horizon A, there is continuous percolational, this percolational translocation, typical in the areas where precipitation is more than evaporation, will result into what? Lime and silica getting leached away. and will have aluminium and iron oxides confined here. Humus content in the soil is removed fast by bacteria that thrives well in high temperature. These soil are poor in organic matter, nitrogen, phosphorus and calcium, while iron oxide, potash are in excess. Laterite soil are not suitable for cultivation, but they are, with the application of fertilizer we can. But the most important thing that you should read is red laterite soil in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala are suitable for cashew nut. And the second important thing that you can see is laterite soil is widely cut as bricks for house construction. The laterite soil are commonly found in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, hilly areas of Assam. Laterization, heavy rainfall is resulting into continuous percolation of lime, silica, humus, and what will be rich here? Aluminium and iron oxide. Very less minerals are left. Nearly all minerals are reached out, even sand, silt are washed away. And that is the reason laterite soil is technically infertile soil. And please compare laterization with this diagram. If it is percolation, translocation, soil will be leached. And if it is capillary action, then soil will be rich in calcium. Calcium rich soil, if becomes alkaline, it is infertile. Leach soil is acidic and is infertile. In this diagram, don't miss to see the two expressions which you should be informed about. From where the movement is taking place is called zone of alluviation, ELU, and to where the movement is taking place is zone of alluviation. So, genetic horizon A and genetic horizon O will be zone of alluviation. Which process we are talking about? Percolational translocation. So, before proceeding, India has got soil type 1 called alluvial, which is deposited soil. Soil type 2 black, soil type 3 red yellow. Both black and red yellow soil are examples of plateau soil. Soil type number 4 laterite. Laterite soil is example of zone of alluviation, and laterite soil is leached soil. Because it is leached, it is infertile. Soil number 5 coming our way now, and this is arid soil. Arid soil will go with what we have learned just a minute back. Attempt it. Genetic horizon C. Capillary, because arid, dry climate. Arid soil ranges from red to brown in color. They are generally sandy in structure and saline in nature. In some areas, salt content is so high that common salt is obtained by evaporating water. The soil lack in moisture and humus, nitrogen is insufficient, and the phosphate content is normal. Lower horizon of soil is occupied by conker, calcification. The conker layer formation in the bottom horizon restricts infiltration of water, and as such, where irrigation is made available, the soil moisture is readily available for the sustainable plant growth. So, which are the soil types where I can correlate the process of calcification? Process of calcification by default will go with arid soil, will go with saline soil, and will also go with alluvial soil in drier climate where it do develops conker. And where do we find saline soil? We find it in runoff Kutch, and we also find it in the coastal plains. And where do we find arid soil? It is largely available in western Rajasthan. I cannot call it infertile, but yes, it has got restricted fertility. Already talked about saline soil. So we are getting on to the last two types of soil one by one. Soil type number 7, the peat soil. It is found in the areas of heavy rainfall and high humidity. Large quantity of dead organic matter accumulates in these areas and give rich humus and organic content. The organic matter in these soil goes up to 40-50%. Are we recalling this? Genetic horizon R, genetic horizon C, genetic horizon B, genetic horizon A, and genetic horizon O. This genetic horizon O will be with excess of humus or will be excess of organic matter. It will be which type of soil? Peat soil. Mind it, peat soil is infertile soil. Use your brain. Peat is brown coal. Peat, lignite, bituminous, anthracite. What are we doing? Increasing carbon content. So, do we require decomposed organic matter or we require mineralized soil? We don't require mineralized soil. It's excessive organic, and that is the reason genetic horizon O makes it infertile. Soil are normally heavy and black in color. At many places these are alkaline also, occurs in northern part of Bihar, Uttarakhand, coastal West Bengal. Soil type number 8 and final, forest soil. So how do I distinguish forest soil actually? The forest soil is in largely mountain environment. So should I construct it like this? (1500 meters), 3800 meters, 4500 meters. Which type of forest will be here? It is monsoonal hardwood deciduous. So the type of soil should be which type? Alluvial. Alluvial. This can include insectizoal also. Spodozole. Jellyzole. It's not mentioned in our NCERT, I'll just talk about it. 6000 meters. Forest soil. With increase in height, there is a different type of vegetation, and different type of vegetation facilitates different types of soil. It is evident from the foregoing discussions that the soil, their texture, quality, nature are vital for germination and growth of the plant. And that is the reason soil is an important constituent of the study of geography. Soil types in India includes alluvial, black, red yellow, laterite, arid, saline, peat, and forest. Arid, saline, calcification, laterite, laterization and leaching. Black, red, yellow, plateau soil. Peat, O horizon, excessive humus. And forest soil, altitudinal soil. To conclude with this, I just want to add one important aspect. The United States Department of Agriculture have given us till date the most comprehensive soil classification scheme that has got 10,000 different soil types, and ICAR takes into reference some of the soil types which are applicable in India. I don't need to be aware of all of them from the general studies perspective, but the names that are mentioned in NCERT should be there for our information list. Before I talk about it, in 2017, Jelly Soil, that is tundra soil, and Nd Soil, that is Lahar soil, was added as new names. So you should be aware of them. These names are missing in our NCERT also. What are the names that are written in NCERT? Inceptizole, alphizole are forest soil, largely belonging to deciduous. Antizole essentially stands synonym to alluvial soil. Vertizole is majorly related to the structural soil. In our country, it has to go with black soil. The Aridizole, I think, is speaking for itself, is dry climate soil. Altizole essentially will overlap with, writing it here, red yellow. It's basically related to savanna soil. Molizole is grassland soil. So how many forest soil types we identify from United States Department of Agricultural Classification? It is inceptizole and it is alphizole. Alluvial soil will fall into the category of antizole. Vertizole is black soil. Molizole is grassland soil. Fertile, infertile, you categorize that with red yellow. So altizole and molizole will be belonging to your woodland and grassland type. Like if I have to talk about the higher altitudinal valley soil, I'll say it is molizole, chestnut soil. And what is the conventional categories of the soil that we take? So they take these two tables together. We are just trying to overlap them. Inceptizole, antizole. So alluvial soil is matched up with antizole. Black soil is matched up with vertizole. So I do have got some overlap that we can apply. Red yellow soil will go with altizole, to some extent molizole also. Arid soil, aridizole. Forest soil, inceptizole and alphizole. You don't need to get into the details of what is the criteria of classification. That is more for the option. I hope it will help you in revising the content matter of soil geography well. Happy learning and all the very best to all of you.